Terry Guthrie. Are you and the kids looking for something fun to do this summer? Well, I'm here at one of the spots that you need to be seen. We're here at Utah's family fun spot. Welcome to Lagoon. We're here in front of the Wicked Coaster, one of Lagoon's newest and scariest rides. This young lady just got off the ride. How did you like it?
It was so awesome. It went up and then it went down really, really fast, and then it did a twirl, and it was really, really fun.
So tell me, you just got off one of Lagoon's scariest and newest rides. How was it?
It was way fun. Don't forget to raise your hands when you go down. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
Ernest Bamberger started Lagoon in 1880. At that time, they had the railroad going back and forth from Salt Lake. He wanted to increase the ridership of his railroad, so he started Lagoon here, thinking that would help his railroad. That's how it all started, and long before we took it over.
Dick, can you tell us about the name and how it came about?
Yes. This park originally was located about 2 miles to the southwest of us, right on the shores of the Great Salt Lake. It was called Lake Park. That was in 1886. The lake went through one of its dry periods, and the lake receded, and they moved the park to its present location and named it Lagoon in 1896. And the name Lagoon came from the pond of water that we still have down on the south end of the Midway. The pond was larger then, but that's where the name came from.
My brothers and I had just got home from the war, World War II, and we were all young, and we didn't have any idea of what we were going to do. And my older brother, who was too old to be in the war, had thought about Lagoon, which had been closed because of the World War II. And nobody knew whether it would be even open again. And as I say, my brother had the idea, and we went to the Bamberger family, asked them about it. They had really no interest. They really didn't know what to do with Lagoon. He was totally uninterested in running an amusement park. And so they were kind of glad that we would do it, and we came out, and frankly, it looked like a ghost town. There wasn't, the coaster was still there, with the coaster, which they built in 1921, was there, and these buildings looked terrible because nobody had done anything with them. It looked awful. We really made do with what was here, and it was pretty skimpy. But this was before Disneyland, and there weren't any of the real big amusement parks around. People didn't know, there wasn't a lot to compare it with.
Dick, can you tell us a little bit about the rides that you've seen come through the years and the different history of the park?
Well, there have been big changes in those years, of course. Some of the old classics that I remember, the Whip, which in fact was my favorite as a child. We used to have a fun house. That is long gone. We had just a big swimming pool. We now have a full-fledged water park with all kinds of attractions. We had weekly entertainment that were actually the biggest names in American music used to be here every Friday and Saturday night. This was the place to be for dates.
Legendary people like the Stones and Jimi Hendrix, Ella Fitzgerald, Nat King Cole. It goes on and on and on. They all played here at Lagoon. The list really is totally amazing. So many of these places, people now only play in stadiums because they have such a huge following. They would consider playing a small place like Lagoon, but they did. In those days, they all played out here.
Treasure, can you tell us about some of your best memories of Lagoon and how often you come?
I've been coming here since I was a little kid. My kids now, we get Lagoon passes every year and come down. It's a great place. It's fun. Lots of rides, very entertaining.
And your kids enjoy it every year, I assume?
Yes, very much.
Great, thank you.
A few years after we had Lagoon, and frankly, I was home at that park. It was closed for the season, and I was home having dinner, actually, and my neighbor, who works on the Tribune, called me and said, "Do you know the Lagoon is burning?" And I didn't, and I immediately went out of the house, and the whole sky was red. So I got in the car and driving out here, and my heart just started pounding so hard, and I was afraid I was going to pass out. I pulled the car at the side of the road, tried to calm down, got out here, and flames were just tremendous. Not all of us wanted to tackle bringing it back, but my brother, who passed away a few years ago, but he loved it so, and he said, "I really want to continue with it."
So it seems like you're enjoying your day here at Lagoon. What is the funnest ride you've been on here?
Probably the Wild Mouse.
Oh, you like the Wild Mouse?
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the funnest ride you've been on here at Lagoon?
The Wicked. That was really wicked, I guess, yeah.
You really like that new ride then, huh?
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
The first big ride we purchased was the Jetstar, and that was we purchased it in 1976. It was a while before we purchased any new ride because we didn't have the money, and we were fixing up mostly the old rides. And then also, to begin with, we had the Fun House, which when we took it over, the Fun House was a big deal. We don't have the Fun House anymore, nor does anybody else, because they wouldn't take the liability of what that Fun House used to have. Long slides, and I don't know if you ever knew about the sitting on the saucer and having it throw you off, but we'd never dare to have that nowadays.
Can you remember what might be the oldest ride?
The oldest ride we have here in the park, I believe, would be the merry-go-round.
And how long has that been here?
The merry-go-round has been here since the very, very early 1900s. And the merry-go-round is actually a little older than that. It came here from another park, and it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. Hand-carved wooden animals. It's a real treasure.
Tell me, Lori, I understand that you were instrumental in revitalizing this merry-go-round.
I was. You know, actually, the merry-go-round is the oldest ride on the park, and it needed a bit of a spruce up. So a few years ago, I started taking the animals home one at a time to my basement, and I painted through the winter all the animals. And then my crew and I painted the outside of the ride to sort of give it its old-time Victorian feel. So we really put a lot of work into our carousel.
Great. Now, I understand that some of the pieces are very valuable.
Yes, in fact, it's a Herschel Spielman, and it's from 1893, so it's over 115 years old. And wooden carousel horses, like the ones on our carousel, are becoming very rare. Most carousels are taken apart, and each of the horses are sold individually for a lot of money. They're very valuable. So to find a working carousel made of wood, carved, like ours, is really it's a masterpiece.
It's a very rare find,
yes,
indeed.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being here today.
No problem.
We've had some other rides that we just leased for a while because we didn't have enough money to buy them. The water ride at Rattlesnake Rapids was a real big deal for us to put that in, and we feel that it is one that stands up as being a very good ride and changed the complexion of the park. Another thing that really changed the complexion of the park was our purchasing Pioneer Village and moving it out here.
Most of Pioneer Village was started around 1930. A man by the name of Horace Sorensen had a furniture company in Salt Lake, and they would deliver furniture to houses, and people would throw their old furniture away. And as you know, in the 30s, things were built very, very well. Rather than see it go to waste, he would oftentimes take it back to the store and put it in a barn or someplace just to store it for who knows. Anyway, it eventually snowballed, and pretty soon he was bringing home houses, buildings, barns, everything else to house this, and that's how Pioneer Village was created.
as time goes on, the most important rides in the park are roller coasters. And as I say, the Jetstar was the first one we purchased. We since have purchased the others, the Bat. We have the biggest roller coaster, the most expensive roller coaster, the most expensive ride we've ever put in the park. And it's called Wicked, and the reaction has been far better than we ever dreamed it could be, because people just love it. They ride it, get off, and get back in line, ride it again.
What's the best ride you've been on today?
Wicked!
Everybody says that. But did it scare you?
At the beginning.
The beginning?
It's fun.
Then you were okay?
Yeah, it was so fun.
We're here with Dana, who is the aquatics manager here at Laguna Beach. Dana, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Lagoon.
I started as a ride operator when I was 16 years old. Very, very long time ago, 31 years ago.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is.
Have you enjoyed your time here with Lagoon?
I have. It's a really good job. They're very family oriented and it's a lot of fun.
Tell me what your job is.
I work in rides at Lagoon. I let people ride the rides, make them have a great time, and just make them feel safe.
It looks like it takes a lot of employees to run a park this size. There's an incredible amount of people here. How would somebody be involved or get involved and become an employee at Lagoon?
Well, it's actually really easy. We're accepting interviews at any time. You can come down any time that we're open, any day of the week. There's two ways you can get an application. One of those is to go to www.lagoonpark.com, or you can come down to our guest services office and pick up an application. Once you fill that out, come on down and we'll get you an interview with one of our great departments here.
Okay, great. And what kind of people do you look for? Anything in particular?
You know, we actually like people that are enthusiastic, ready to work, ready to have fun. This is a place where we have fun, and we want employees that will help spread that fun with not only our guests, but with other employees.
Great. Well, if you're interested in working here at Lagoon, come on down. Well, have you enjoyed your time here at Lagoon?
It's been a lot of fun, you know. The drive may be long, but the pay's worth it, and you meet a lot of new people, new friends. The manager's real nice. Good food. Yes, they have good food. Very good food.
It is true that Six Flags did want to buy Lagoon, and we considered it kind of, but actually met with them in New York to discuss it, but none of us really wanted to do it, and we turned them down, and that rumor has been floating ever since.
What are some of the changes you've seen over the years?
Well, you know, we're 185 acres on the park, and I've seen the north end and the south end expand. I've seen us go from about 30 rides to almost 50. I've seen this area here go from a 1-million-gallon swimming pool to a 500,000-gallon water park with a lot of features in it. It's just a lot of changes, particularly in the last couple of years.
Disney changed everything as far as amusement parks, and it was very positive what he did. But he's the one that started theming all the rides now, and but as far as the future is concerned, I guess just bigger, scarier, better rides.
You know, along with all the rides, the food, the entertainment, Laguna Beach, Lagoon also has an RV park situated just south of here, where you can bring your RV, park, enjoy your family, come on over to the park and enjoy it here. Well, we'd like to thank all those at Lagoon that invited us here today. We've had a great time. So we'd like to invite you to come on down, and we'll see you at Lagoon.